These are the extreme weather events of just the last year alone. And larger floods, heavier snowfall and more damaging heat waves are exactly what models of global warming predict. Now, a final warning from the foremost climate scientists. We have just over a decade to act to save the world as we know it.
There's not an alternative that we can go to. It's not like somehow there's another safe place for us to be. It's 1.5 degrees Celsius as the sort of world in which we can exist. Anything higher starts to get unmanageable, and people's jobs and livelihoods are at stake. This is what's so serious about this issue.
But what a time to have to demand action.
We're going to put the miners back to work. We're going to put the miners back to work.
The world's biggest economy, the US, is run by a climate change denier and is locked in a power struggle with the world's biggest carbon dioxide emitter, China.
We need true government leadership on climate change. It's a huge-scale problem and we're going to need a big kind of concerted effort to change it and transform all sectors of our society. But if people want to take individual actions as well, that's great, that can really help.
And many of us have already begun to do our bit, from washing at 30 degrees to turning down the thermostat. But when it comes to changes with the biggest impact, here are actually the top 5. Number 1, ditching meat, fish and dairy for a diet based on plants. Number 2, switch to a gas and electricity tariff that provides 100% renewable energy. 3, avoid flying. Number 4, going car-free. And 5, with potentially the biggest impact of all, having fewer children.
This is where the Gulf Stream is slowing down.
And it will be our children who'll pay the price if we fail to keep the Earth to within 1.5 degrees of its temperature before the industrial age.
These are consequences that are going to be borne not just by us, but our children and our grandchildren. We have to ask ourselves, what kind of world do we want to leave to future generations?
For so long, this planet has offered a benign and beautiful place for the human race to thrive. But the message from scientists is now clear. If we don't change how we live, forces beyond our ability to control will drive far more unwelcome change upon us.
Kathy.